Welcome back to the Erincast on Double Cross Anime. I'm Whooper, and here's Mario.
Hey, how you guys doing?
This is where we talk about Kamono no Soja Erin. As you may, be aware, since we
Mhm.
previously put up an episode discussing the first 20, installments of this show, 1 to 22, I think we covered. This week, we're talking about episodes 23 to 27. And after
Mhm.
that, we're going to talk about episodes 28 to 34. That'll all be contained here in this upload. First, we got to talk
Mhm.
about 23 to 27. When we
Yep.
last left our heroes, what what were they doing? Aaron had
Yeah.
like solved the
I
mystery of why Lilan wasn't like eating or responsive to her caretakers or anything, right?
yeah. I would tell you that the first so we got like the first 17 episode that we talked where Erin as a kid lost her mother and growing up, and then she stayed with Jones, and then she go to the to this academy. So the last batch we talking about how he get used to the new environment here, and taking care of the of Lilan, one of the Ochu
Beast Lords? Yeah,
Bistro.
Oju.
Yeah.
That's right, Oju.
And now we get to the continuing of that, and I would say that 20, episode 23, 24 is all right, and by the extent 25, but it just I think it's the time where they have to branch out a little bit, so that's why they focus a lot more on other stuff other than Eri.
By
So
other
that's
stuff, you
why.
mean Nuku and Moku?
Oh my goodness, that was the worst episodes.
Dude,
So
I'm about to say something insane.
right,
That
you
was my
really enjoy
favorite
that
of these
episode?
5 episodes.
Okay, okay, we have to disagree on that. I just, I just feel, especially the episode 23 and 24 still alright, but because it derive away from Erin and Leland's. It doesn't. It I think it's like the lowest for me. The lowest batch of episodes for me in terms of enjoyment.
Okay. I mean, well, I've having seen this show before, I knew coming into it that all the best material was near the start.
All right. Okay. Yep.
Of course, the show is still building a larger story for itself with characters like the Grand Duke's sons, Shunan
Mm-hmm.
and Nugan,
Mm-hmm.
and Damia is in the mix as well. The evil prince. We see him
Mm-hmm.
in episode 24, like swirling his wine as he talks to one of his attendants or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Yeah, and then the idea that Aaron's ability to communicate with Lilan might like bring some pressure down on her, like politically, militarily,
Mm-hmm.
because of what that power represents, is interesting. So you want to keep watching in order to like see that through, see where the like how the show follows up on that and everything. But the best
Yep.
stuff is like when she's with her mother or when she's with Joan, the relationship
Yep.
between her as a child and the adults that care for her and teach her.
Yeah, we get a lot of throwback on this relationship as well as we go along in episode 26 and 27. But yeah, let's first talk about 20 episode 23, where so it's the aftermath of like what Erin has achieved for Leland to eat again. So the whole teachers of the Kazam decided to ponder the questions whether they will report that to the kingdom or not.
Right. Yeah.
And I think yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah,
And you
no,
think what?
and no, and I think that that just span for the rest of these episodes. I think that's just a lot of repeti- repetition in this episode. Or
Yes, there
like
was. Oh,
on
yes, there
these
was.
on these episodes as well. But we will talk about that now. What's your
Yeah.
thought,
It was
Cooper?
episode 23. I thought was a total drag.
Right.
Uh, she recaps everything that Eren has done recently in order to make Lilan, more receptive to care from humans. The playing of the harp, the letting in of the light from like the floor level, etc. And then not only that, so already that's we've already seen this, so you're already feeling like, okay, move it along. But then, not only is there that scene where the teacher, whose name is what is it, Esal Sensei, where Esal is telling all the other teachers about this. We also get like an identical scene where a bunch of students are sitting in a circle in the forest and like debating whether Eren used some mist people trick.
Mm.
And there's no way that she could do this when their senpai, what's his face, couldn't do it. And they're
Yeah.
they're having like a little debate about it while they're doing the adults are doing the exact same thing at the
Yeah.
school. Like, and it just went on and on. There was so much stock footage, and I was like, oh my god, just get on with it. The only good part of the episode was, the scene at the end where everyone comes together in the same room and they all like stand up and cast their votes essentially to keep Eren's secret. But by then it was too little, too late for me. I was like, this episode is past redemption, man.
Well, I love the fact that, like, even though that everyone signed up to, like to square to keep this a secret, it also, like, you can see the person who was they was hesitant at first, and only the one who loyal to her just raising up right away, and then the
Right.
rest just like, like get stripped away, or they just come to their sense to in order to do it. So they're just like a moment of consideration as well. So
Yeah,
I
I
kind
don't
of
know. I
like that
didn't really
part.
buy that, I guess.
Right.
Um,
Yep. Well, mm,
so what are we supposed to believe that just because is it Tomura? I think it's Tomura senpai. Just because Tomura and Yuyan stand up, all of a sudden everyone else is like, oh, well, if they did it, I should do it. That just seems a little far fetched to me. Um,
mm.
I did not like this episode at all. I was like, oh no, are the next four episodes going to be like this too?
Well,
I mean,
and
they
then
weren't, but
yeah, and then we come to episode 24, where it's the change of scenery, where we focus on the Grand Duke size with the two sons, and I think that the moment that they have the flashback, or even like before that, before the flashback of them, growing a tree together and promise to follow each other's footsteps. I know, I know for sure that this is the episodes where they're gonna part ways,
yeah,
and lo and behold, it just happened exactly like that.
yep. And we get all sorts of symbolism, um, you know,
Mhm.
in reference to the fact that they were once like close as brothers, but now are going their separate ways. We have the shot of the two little cherry blossom petals in the water that at first are going down river at the same direction, but then they split apart. We've
Yeah,
got the way that the tree that they planted, I guess it was a cherry tree,
yeah.
um, the way that it grows,
We,
that starting from the trunk, it grows straight up, and then what does it do? It splits into two, it forks into two different branches.
yeah,
They're like the two different branches of that tree. Oh man, so deep.
yeah. And
Uh,
we also we also get the scenes where they share the same screen together as well, with the same scenery that you put the screenshot for, which I missed
oh
originally.
yeah, that I don't think is intended to symbolize anything. I think they just use the exact same background for behind
Oh
Shunan
wow.
and behind Nugan, as they're debating how they want to use their influence as sons of the Grand Duke. That was when I noticed that I was
Wow.
like, what was going on in the office? Why why is this just literally the exact same image? Um, Anime is hard to make.
Yeah,
So,
and they have to cut costs along the way.
yep. And one way to do that is by it's just by ignoring,
Using the same background.
yeah, just by ignoring the fact that trees look different from place to place and just use the exact same ones. Just reuse them.
Same angles. Wow. Oh God.
I mean, episode
Yeah.
24 was it was okay.
Yeah. I also agree with that. I think that I like the message it wants to convey. Uh, I also like the fact that even though that we follow Erin, we also get to see more of like the show more political side, and I always interested in the political kind of stuff, especially in this fictional kingdom like this one. However, I like the message well enough, but the actual execution is still leave a lot to be desired.
When you say execution, what do you mean? Like the fact that they have a big fight scene, or
The fact that they just don't do thing that interesting uh to that concept. I just feel that in the more capable hands, or in the more in the more capable hands, this scene would come off more, like more more power and less obvious
yeah.
to the
Well, I
audience.
mean, Aaron's a pretty obvious show. I think
Right.
it is
Mm.
definitely for children.
Yep.
I think there's something to be said for the fact that it's telling this sort of story to kids.
Hmm.
You know,
Yep.
um, that in itself is worthy of some praise, but it does feel pretty handholdy.
Yep.
Yeah, like Nugon is just he's got the big sword and he's
Mhm.
always angry at his daddy because he, is it his dad he's angry with? I guess it is.
Yeah. He angry with that day. He don't want things to change. He got uh the uh the prince, the who praised him. I think he got on with that. So in the future we will see more about Nugan and this prince trying to do something. And then on the other side, Shunan, he who is like doesn't really like the way the politics runs at the moment. So he tried to change it, to change the system.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was spelled out pretty obviously in here
Oh,
in episodes.
I think I just I was confused for a second about whether Nugon was truly mad at his father, but now I realize the reason he's mad at his father is because his father won't send him to the battlefield. I think
Yep, yep,
politically,
yep,
Nugon is actually more aligned with their father,
yep,
and
yep, yep.
Shunan is the one who's more of a revolutionary.
Mm, yep.
Um, but yeah, so that's he just his father doesn't view him as like a capable warrior. That's why he's mad all the time with his big sword.
Yep, yeah, yep. Just chop up everything, every trees.
Yes, yeah, he does cut down that tree. Ooh boy, symbolism. Um, yeah, I mean there was some interesting stuff to learn in episode 24. I think we learned some new terms. For example, wajaku and holon. I don't know if we had ever heard those terms before. Wajaku is the name for the followers of the Grand Duke, and Horon is the name for followers of the Queen.
Right.
Now,
Is
I
that
don't
is that not
think. What's
sorry?
up?
Is that not the name who is the protector of the kings?
The protector of the king is the Grand Duke.
No. So remember where's this other guys? All right, I look up his name now. This other guy who is in the team that specifically decide to protect the queen.
Are you talking about Yaman Hassal? They tell like a little
Yeah.
war story, like from the early days of the kingdom where they live. Who? decided to protect the queen with like the Toda army.
The bodyguards.
Oh no, no, the bodyguards are Iaru and the Sezan. They're called the Sezan.
Cezanne. Yeah. All right. Yep. Yep.
No, Wajaku and hold on. I think those are just two terms indicating whether someone is loyal, more loyal to the Grand Duke or more loyal to the Queen. I don't think there's
Right.
like a racial or ethnic difference between them,
Mm.
just a difference of like loyalty and perhaps class.
Yeah. Yep.
I think the only like distinct race in this universe is the Mist People.
Mhm.
But
I,
you know, to learn about that difference and see how people are like how that line is drawn between them is you know, important to learn. Although we do get a scene of some people, like some of the Queen's representatives, bringing a bunch of flowers to the battlefield where Shunan is
mm.
stationed with his men, and all of his men are like going insane and like screaming and
Yeah.
yelling. They
Yeah.
don't want to
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
combat, and one guy runs up to the flowers and starts picking them up and throwing them like he's completely lost his marbles. That was,
Yep. Yep.
I mean, I enjoyed that scene for how silly it was.
Uh, yep. I know
That was
that.
pretty goofy.
Yeah, I know that it's fun to say like the effect of words in one way and another. So they had to try that, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's in a
Well,
manner of
it's like a little
they
show of PTSD, like a child-friendly display
yeah
of, you know,
yeah
there may have been like Japanese kids watching this for the first time who were like, why are the soldiers so sad?
mm, mm,
They're they they get to have like do awesome battle with swords, and they get to ride on Toda. Why are they so
yeah
crazy?
yeah
You know. So yeah,
yeah
it was all right.
mm, yeah. So it's like the episode where like the two of them gonna be oppose each other. So they just pursue their own way. It's not really sure that Shunan gonna left the Grand Duke though, right? Because he just gonna do it his own way, but he's still the Grand Duke favorite son in all
Yeah.
this.
I think his goal, and this was established in the batch of 5 episodes before this, I believe. His goal is to marry Semiya-sama, the queen's
Yeah,
granddaughter, I think, and form
yeah,
like a political marriage and
yeah.
unite the country. So,
That makes sense.
I mean, honestly, rather than this whole thing with Nugon, I might have liked to see him make some progress on that
Yeah,
front. Like he's gonna have to court this girl if he wants to marry her.
yeah. We
And
hardly
the
see.
obstacles that people throw up to prevent him
Yeah,
from getting close to her might be more interesting than him just, having a
yeah,
spat with his brother.
yeah. Yeah. We hardly see the queen side of thing in these part of episodes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that says something.
It's definitely more focused on the Grand Duke.
Instead, they spend the entire episode to feature Nook and Mork.
Yes, Moku
Okay.
and Nuku.
Oh,
And I'm as surprised as anyone. I was a big hater of their characters at first. Um,
oh no.
Dude, this episode was for me, it was a nice change of pace.
Oh
And that,
no.
dude,
All
the
right.
animation was a major step up from all the surrounding material.
Yeah, I can see that.
Less reused footage, but also like scenes of them searching the city for the missing coin purse, like
Yeah,
climbing up poles and looking in dumpsters, and uh, them stumbling into like a den of thieves and getting these crazy, fearful expressions on their faces and running out of the tent.
yeah.
The animation was just better than it has been at most points throughout the show's run.
Oh boy. And then they try to work like to get back the money, and then they get the potato instead, a big bag of potato, in which I think they eat, and then they left it over there because they for sure they didn't bring it back.
I don't remember what exactly they did with all the potatoes. I guess they ate a bunch of them. And then the shot where they are talking to each other about like how much they admire Aaron and how they need to go back to
yeah,
Kazalm where she is to support her. They leave a couple of potatoes on the ground as they run out of frame.
yeah,
When I saw
and
that, I was
they
like, "Pick
just
up your
leave them behind.
potatoes. Pick.
Yeah,
You need food
yeah.
to live. You're gonna have to walk a long way to get back to the school. Get your potatoes, guys. You earned them."
Yeah, I was thinking that like because they have to go to this city to buy stuff, right? So maybe potato was one of them, so that like even though they don't get the money, they still have like the thing that they will ask for. Not the
Right.
case. I was just overthinking all of this to to make Nuku and Moku a bit better than they actually were.
Yeah, they're pretty useless. Um, their attempt at doing that like disappearing man magic show
Yeah,
where
yeah.
he's like, "Hey, just hide in the bushes, bro," and his butt is sticking out.
Oh,
It's I don't know. I guess I was just in the mood for some cartoon humor because
yeah,
I enjoyed that scene. I enjoyed the scene where they like go into lawnmower mode, where they have to cut down the grass. They like hunch down,
yeah,
like they're on their hands and knees, and their arms start whirling like they're
yeah,
little lawnmowers, and they cut down all the grass. Um, yeah, I
yeah.
was about it. I was a fan. A very weird
Ah,
position for me to be in, but I enjoyed it.
yeah. No, for me, no. For me, this is like the lowest low that
Okay.
I've watched Adrian so far. But then it kind of picks up again in episode 26 and 27, where
Okay.
the focus is back to Erin. And first, they have to study to pass the exam.
Right.
And there's a there also the progression uh with the Oju, where it's appear that they can he can understand uh Erin words instead of like she doing the core
The harp.
the hat. Yep. And then there's just a weird thing going on with Erin's dream where she like she have dreams about her mother Jones
Well, that's episode 27.
and the folk. Yep. So yep.
I liked episode 26. I think it was a nice mix of I don't know, nice mix of tones, nice mix of story beats. Because there, as
Hmm.
you mentioned, there were the exams. There was also
Yep.
Yuyan, her like obsessing
Oh,
over
yep.
the hairpin that her crush had bought, and she was sure meant
Yep.
that he already had a girlfriend or something.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So Aaron got to be like a friend to Yuyan. We haven't seen much of Yuyan.
Hmm.
I
Yep.
mean, she's
That's
probably
true.
not a very important character in the grand scheme of things, but she is Aaron's roommate. She was the first one to accept her at this
Yep.
school, so nice to see a little bit of
She
her.
the first one to step up to keep this as a quiet
Yes.
that as a secret.
Yeah. To volunteer to keep her secret. Yeah. I mean, there were some fun little bits of humor, like Tomoda's flashcards falling out of his pocket right after
Hmm.
he brags, "Oh, it's fine. I don't need to study. I just remember everything naturally." Oops, my flashcards.
Yeah.
um, the moment where the classmates' heads, like, the of all of the students in Aaron's year, they wear the different colored robes, right, or the uniform. It's like pink.
Hmm. Yep. 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 And
And the
blue.
smartest one in her year, the kid with the glasses, who has
Hmm.
sometimes voiced distrust of Aaron because she's one of the missed people.
Yep.
You see
Yep. Yep.
here
Yep.
that he offers to give her some notes to help her
Hmm.
study. So that's nice in and of itself because it's an indicator that the promise that everyone made in episode 23 is like still holding strong, if he's also volunteering to help her. But then after he does that, a bunch of her classmates' heads pop out of the bush behind her. And they're all like, "We want to
Yep.
look at his notes too." Because he's their resident smarty pants.
Yep.
That was kind of a fun shot. Um, and then you got the drama and kind of the angst of like Lidan. She realizes that Lilan will never be able to go back to the wild because it was a gift for the queen. And there's this scene, the moment where Lidan is coming down to like lick her face, but before that happens, you see like a representation of her with glowing eyes and like open jaws, which is, I think, a nice reminder that Olju are like massive, threatening creatures.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
it can't just all be cute.
Yeah, I love that scene too. Is that in episode 26 or 27? But
It is in episode
yeah,
26, at least based on
right.
my notes.
But and then the moment you see that he just try to like cuddle or like just to lick her tears,
Yeah.
so great.
I think there is some inconsistency in the way that Didan is drawn. There
Right,
are there are some moments where it looks as though the animation director wants to indicate that time has passed. So there are some shots where some of the tufts of hair around its eyes look a little bit bushier,
right,
kind of
right.
in order to indicate that it's matured, I would say. But then there are also moments where it still looks like a baby, like
Hmm.
the shot where Aaron tells Didan to go outside because she's going to clean its stable,
Hmm.
and then
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
you see Didan like spying on her, like looking
Yeah.
around the corner, and she looks much younger in those shots. So I don't know if that's like intentional or if the I don't know. There are different model sheets, some for younger and some for older Didan, and those aren't being followed in every single cut. I'm not sure. Just something I noticed.
Yeah. Yeah, I did notice
Hmm.
some of that as well. Not really change that much in the grand scheme of things. Like this is like uh the budget show. So
Well, yeah,
a little.
it is made a little cheaply, I suppose, but time is definitely passing.
Yeah.
We're not talking about panty and stocking here, where
Well,
the characters don't
I,
really
I
age.
yeah, I'm not really sure like how much time has passed though, in the
Well, we know
sense
that
that
she's in her first year of high school now, right?
yeah, so it's like 2 years, right?
I
A
think
little
a
bit more.
year.
I Really?
I think.
All right. Hmm. All right. Because I was make that assumption as well that she only stay here for like 2 years at most. When so that's not how long that she happened meet Joe's. Uh, and funny how like Joe never really appeared, right? To
Well,
visit
he does
her.
appear in episode 27
Yep. We
in a
can come
dream.
to that in the yep in dream, which is a bit weird. We're not sure if it's a dream or not, right? Because they kind of really he kind of really like catch up with everything and give her a really good advice. And the moment she call him as a dad, I actually see some red flag going on.
Some red flags, like a death flag
Yeah,
for him.
yeah.
Could be.
Well,
Like the death of the mentor. It could be a repeat of what happened with her mother, and she'll have to go through that
yeah.
that sort of
I
experience a second time.
Yeah, I happened to watch the preview for the next episode, so I know that he's gonna pass away.
Wait,
Uh,
what? I didn't know
yes,
that.
yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I didn't know that it was going to happen next episode. I don't remember the exact order of events.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
major spoiler.
sorry for that. But I think the moment that like they meet for such a long time, they meet up again in the dream, but where like he appears to just support her along the way, all the ways, and that the pathway is just like she call him that. I think it's just like a major farewell from her end.
I guess so.
So
I mean, they could have written that scene without any intention of killing him.
yeah.
Because it reflects back the fact that he thought of her as his daughter. You know, when he was
Mm,
leaving Kazam,
mm,
um, leaving Aaron. Uh, I don't know what episode that was exactly,
yeah,
but you see a shot of him like driving away, and he regards her as a daughter, and then you see like the tears coming down. You know, with
yeah.
the shot being cut just below his eyes.
Yeah, I think this is a unusual episode, but it is a necessary one as well, in the sense that now Henry come to um, come to the point where she actually think a lot about her lost mother, about like people who care for her while she taking care of Leland. So there are sort of like parallels in there, also in the fact that like it all in the dream, so it's within the fox that mm, the mist that is not that we are like, for myself, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be real or not. It's
There's
kind
no
of like
there's no way it's
a
real.
disconnection.
She sees her mother,
Hmm. Yeah,
who is
well,
dead.
I mean, like she passed on to another world, so like a world between the real life and the dead, or something
Oh,
along
I
the
see what
line.
you're saying. No, I don't think so. Because isn't there that whole explanation towards the end of the episode
Yeah,
where
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the caretaker's
Yeah,
like, "Oh, you must have seen my
yeah,
lantern out there in the
yeah,
fog."
yeah,
Now
yeah.
it could be that she did have a supernatural experience, and that's the show just trying to like cast ambiguity on it.
Hmm.
Um, Personally, I think it was a dream,
Yeah,
but maybe not.
yeah.
Maybe she was
Well,
really communing with the spirits of her mother. And I mean, perhaps Joan, I don't know what you saw in the next episode preview, but maybe Joan is already dead and
right.
she just won't get
Well,
the news about it until
yeah.
episode
See,
28.
yeah. Well, he just say that because at that point he bringing her to the mums, right? And
Right.
he say like, I'm halfway there, or I'm on my way there, or something along the line.
Not in reference to the trip to go see their mother, but in reference to like he's halfway to the other world.
Right. Yeah. The
I don't
trip
really
to
remember that.
yeah, I remember when he get her to the boat and and get her there. He said he's he said that.
Mm, okay. Well,
Uh, yeah,
they
the
didn't put all that
folk.
white in his beard for nothing.
True. Uh, right before he's singing his song as well, they have the whole Jones song, which is
Yes.
kind of cool.
Yeah, a sexy stud who such and such keeps bees and honey and farts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, the fog and the thick mist is it's look pretty weird. I think it is supposed to be uh out of ordinary world. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I thought it looked like granite.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't. I thought it looked like a sheet of granite rock. I didn't think it looked incorporeal or whatever.
Hmm.
So I wasn't a big fan of how it was visualized. But I mean, this is a show that is taking some pretty odd approaches to visual direction. We got the charcoal looking line art, and we
Yeah. We
have the cuts
as
to
a
like
first.
uh we have the cuts to I don't know, like cave paintings sort of, or like a mural whenever it wants to
Right.
depict violence, like
Right.
beast lords or Toda.
I yeah. There is a cut to a moth
Yeah, oh, the
struggling
CG
to
moth.
yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember there was a CG butterfly earlier in these somewhere in these 5 episodes as well?
Yep. 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 Yep.
It was
Go-
I mean,
I
it didn't look good, but whatever.
yeah, whatever. Like I yeah,
I mean,
I
maybe they
can.
were the same for the same reason that they were too busy to draw a new background of those red trees in episode 24. They were also too busy to animate a butterfly and a moth.
Yeah, and they
Who
have to go
knows
back to
what the
that moth
circumstances of the production
all
were?
over again. Yeah, true. This is supposed to
Um,
be every week, right? So yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
I guess that at one point they just kind of like run out of time and resource. But well,
I guess so. I don't really know. It's I mean, the moth and the butterfly were kind of funny to me, honestly.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I wasn't so much into episode 27. I didn't really like the look of it. It felt like Aaron was, I don't know, stuck at the bottom of a hole,
hmm
um, rather than like having a supernatural experience or having a dream.
yeah,
But whatever. Got to see Joan one more time. Got to see her mother, and I mean the fact that she's seeing these parental figures is of course significant because she is becoming that to
yeah,
Riran. Um, so
yeah.
if the
Yeah,
story's going
I
to move
agree.
on to some future phase where her relationship with Riran really takes center stage even more than it has right now, then an episode like this one can serve as a transition into that.
Yeah. There is also one other fact that we haven't mentioned is the fact that Leland, now that he can sort of understand Erin's her like her basic command, and he feel comfortable like staying with her in to the point that he isn't feel up to staying with the other beast lords. So that
Oh
again
right,
worries Erin, and that's he learned the fact that he not gonna be he got gonna be out to the wild ever again.
right. Yeah, I have to imagine that she's going to try to do something about that.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, that exactly what John advice is. Just do with what you think the best.
Well, easy for him to say. He's dead.
Yep. Oops. He got to sing his little song about himself, and that is good enough.
Yep, he's a good character. I like Joan.
Yeah, yeah, me too. All right. So, yeah, the this batch of 5 episodes is kind of like miss and hit for me. Certainly my least favorite out of like the whole thing that we watched so far.
Yep.
Um, but episode 25 especially have to point that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that we still like have a handfuls of others direction that the show want to take. So hopefully it get to that soon. Now that we get past the big first hurdle of the relationship between Erins and Leland. Let's see how they gonna like continue to what sharp direction the show want, want to take.
Yeah. In fact, let's discuss that right now. Episodes 28 to 34
Yep, yep, yep.
coming up next.
All, all right. We will see you again pretty soon then.
Yep. See you then.
Right. Bye for now. And we're back for the second batch of the Erincast. So this time we cover episode 28 to 34, which episode 30 is a recap. So we cover 7 episodes this time.
Yeah, including the recap, 7 episodes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's correct.
6 of new material, I suppose.
Yeah, I think I mentioned in the first half of this podcast that I didn't really enjoy episode 22 to 27. I'm happy to say that this time it just bring back up like all of what I love about Erin. It's all
Probably
there.
because
So
Nuku and Moku didn't get their own episode this time.
I agree. That's the best decision that this show had made so far.
Okay, well, good. It's good that it rebounded for you.
All
Personally,
right.
I was a little worried after watching episode 28. I was a little
Right.
concerned.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
that was the one where Aaron takes the trip with Isao Sensei to
Yep.
the secret base that she used to share with Joan, because it's
Yep.
the after seeing Joan in that kind of like other like dream realm or whatever it was,
Hmm.
um, where the fog was looked like stone, with that really bizarre visual choice, which this show makes many.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so we saw Aaron, I think, refer to Joan as her father for the first time in that episode.
Yep.
Then, in episode 28, the first in the batch that we're about to discuss, she learns of Joan's passing from a very brief letter from his son.
Hmm.
And, this episode is about her processing his death and going along with SL Sensei on kind of like a nostalgic trip down memory lane, I guess. But I really didn't feel as though the episode offered any sort of catharsis.
I
It kind of felt like it was just going through the motions, honestly.
Well, I actually think that it's interesting that you mentioned it. Up two things. First, Edwin didn't actually go to his funeral at all. And second, we never got to see Joel's son at all. So it's just like that side of the business we never get to see.
Yeah. I kind of like the fact that we've never seen his son and we only
Mm,
know about him like through tiny little bits of information about people saying he's like a bad son, or, seeing that his letter is not very detailed or sympathetic. It kind of,
mm.
it makes the relationship between Joan and his son. Oh, we do see him though. He comes by the house.
Really?
Yeah, I
Really?
remember now. Yes, when he's raising Aaron, he comes by the house, I think, and just
What did
tells
he say?
I don't know. I can't remember. He like informs his father about something or other. If I scroll back in my notes, I can probably Oh, here we go. Episode 15. Joan's character is deepened by the flaws we discover after his
Wow.
son comes to visit. Blah blah blah
Wow.
blah. Blah blah
Oh,
blah blah
wow.
blah. Um so I think that's when we learn that he was expelled as the reverend of the teachers
I
at
see.
Tamayuan Academy, and as a result of that, he was like estranged from his family. Uh,
Hmm.
anyway, I kind of like the fact that his son is not a major character because it complicates Joan a little bit.
Yep.
He does have that strained relationship with his family, and
Yep.
it makes him a little more human. I feel if he
Yep.
didn't have any flaws or any difficult relationships with people, he might come across as a little too perfect, like a too perfect a
Yep.
father figure.
Yep. 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 I agree. I agree with you. Um, that trip, I think, like you said, it's just in like auto motion, auto play. Um, mm, I kind of like it in a way that like it's a proper time for Erin to say goodbye to him, so that like basically move on,
But is it
acknowledge it,
though?
and move on. Mm.
Like they don't go to his grave or anything. They just go to they don't
Yeah.
like this. There's nothing that we discover. Oh, sorry, I scratched my mic. There's nothing that we discover at this secret hideout that Esal Sensei takes her to. Like if there had been something there that would have shed new light on Joan's character in Aaron's mind, I would
Mm.
have been like, oh, so that was the purpose of this trip, narratively speaking. But there wasn't anything like that I can remember anyway.
No, it doesn't. It's just like they just the hut where they used to hang out, used to study when they was young, and nothing had changed ever since.
Right. Yeah, maybe
So
that's what got to me the most is that at this place, nothing changes.
yeah,
Like as a
yeah,
result of Erin's visit, she doesn't learn anything new. She doesn't experience anything new. But yet, so much has changed for her because Joan is dead. So the
yeah.
story does not match her, her emotional state.
Mm. I don't think that intentional, but yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Good
I
point.
just,
Good point picking up there.
I just didn't like it much. Do you have anything else any defense of it, or anything
Mm.
else, you know,
I,
that I
yeah.
miss,
I just,
or
yeah. Well, I just think that because they don't, she doesn't really have a chance to say goodbye to him. Only once in during her dream, so not even in real life.
yeah,
So this is just a good time for her to just like see him one more time, think about him, and then yeah, basically just kiss it off.
I suppose. Yeah.
And then we come
Anyway,
to the yeah, we come to the next episodes where we see how dangerous a beast can be. Like
yeah,
if you don't if you just take it for granted.
yeah. So this is something I was waiting for. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, I have a notoriously poor memory, so it's not that I remembered that Leland bit
yeah,
Aaron's shoulder and like earlobe.
yeah,
But I was, obviously Leland is huge and has the intellect of a beast and not a person. So
mm,
she poses a constant danger. Um, and I was waiting for that danger to be made manifest, and
right,
here it finally was.
yeah,
Um, and I thought it was nice that in relation to episode 28, where Esal Sensei is more gentle with Eren and takes her on this trip and everything, and kind of looks out for her,
mm, mm,
in a bit of a parental role. Not really, but Joan is
mm,
gone now, so perhaps she'll fill that role in the future. Anyway,
yeah,
she was more gentle with her in episode 29, but in episode 28. But in this one, episode 29, she takes like a firm stance with Eren, saying, "Okay, so you just got your neck bitten open by this dangerous beast. So it's time to bring the mute whistle back." And Eren says no. So she says, "Okay, well then go. If you're gonna be foolish about it, then go ahead and write your will and explain that your death is your own doing,
yeah,
because we're not going to be held liable for this."
yeah.
Which I thought she was
I
totally
think
justified in saying.
wow. I thought it was a bit calculated on her side, but I do understand
I mean,
why
she
she
has
she
a
went
she
it
has
that
a
way.
school to run, and if
Yeah,
Aaron dies as a result of this, she's got to be thinking about like protecting herself and the people she has on staff and the students. You don't want the academy to get shut down. And it's crazy that Erin is so confident in her relationship with Leland that she wouldn't,
yeah,
rethink it a little bit. Now we do see that she
right.
does end up rethinking things.
Yeah,
She has doubts, but
yeah,
in the end, of course, they share a special bond, and so she gets back in the saddle, so to speak.
yeah.
Though that doesn't come
I
until later.
Yeah, I really like the way that she actually was afraid at first to come to see her to come to see Lilan just because of the whole experience and
Yeah,
so
she
they
doesn't
have
open the door to the shed, right?
yeah so they have to go through like both of them go to some time alone just to reflect. Especially I was a bit underwhelming on how they depict the attack from Leland. It just very limited.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think
I would
that
love
makes
more
sense
impact.
for a kids show.
Uh, yeah,
You know.
or maybe don't show it all.
Well,
Just
then how do you know what happened?
just maybe like show or just like maybe just go with the sound and just the injury that she got.
Oh, okay. Audio only. That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, everything like everything glory happened off screen. Not like this.
Yeah,
But
I guess. I mean, it's
In
true that the animation was pretty limited.
right,
Um,
yeah, but
I think
in
part of that is by design, but then again, this show does have
mm,
its moments of reused animation and general
yeah,
stiffness and all that.
yeah, 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 true. So yeah, I think we get this mostly from Erin perspective, not from Leland. So we don't know, we don't know if how Leland feels. Uh, Still though, I think it's a big jump up from Erin to like to actually realize such a dangerous again, because she has experience with that before. In terms of like the Toda, what they did to her mother. So it's just a reminder for her not to like to still feel afraid, because unless you not you have to be you have to put this into account.
Yeah, you
Like
have to
and then
respect their
yeah,
strength.
yeah. So yeah, a good lesson for both of them.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think
It's she's shedding. I guess that's important to point out is that Lilan is shedding, and what
yeah,
results the reason she attacks Eren is because Aiden uses a big brush
yeah,
constructed for her by the you know the comic
uh,
relief duo who
yeah,
actually do a lot of like building in these episodes. They also make the saddle that Eren ends up
yeah,
using later on.
yep,
So
yep, yep,
being useful actually.
mm,
But the yeah, Lilan looks kind of raggedy.
yep,
I
yep,
thought that
yep,
was pretty effective. Like she looked like she was molting, because she has not
yep,
just fur but feathers.
yep, yep. And the way that she tried to scratch the itch by like using the tree before that,
Right.
it actually, yeah, very good,
Well, it's
really
if you've ever seen a
animal like.
cat like
Yeah,
rub their chin
yeah,
on like rough surfaces in order to scratch themselves and
yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
like clean themselves as well probably. That's very authentic. Lilan is like half cat, half bird.
Yeah, tiger, half bird.
Yeah, I suppose you would need to pick one of the bigger cats. She
Yeah,
kind of has a mane now as well after the flashback, like a little beard. So maybe lion.
right. Yeah, mm, yeah. All right, and then we get into the little recap where I actually skipped that, but Whooper say that it has some new material in there.
Yeah, so the recap is framed as a conversation between SL Sensei and the dorm mother, whose name I can't remember. If I scrolled
Right.
up, I could remember it, but I don't want to lose my train of thought here.
Mm,
Um, Setting aside all the commentary between SL Sensei and the dorm mother that runs periodically throughout the episode, there is an ending scene that reveals that there's going to be a flashback. You see Erin as her 18-year-old self, and you see Lilan has finished molting, finished shedding, and has those little kind of purple and pink ribbons in her wings. And you see the two of them like, going out and spending time together in the field where they typically like run around and play catch and stuff. And so you're seeing that Aaron has changed, Leland has changed, and then the camera zooms out and reveals that SL Sensei is far away on a hill overlooking them and thinking to herself, you've grown up, you've become a woman now, and I know that you'll be able to accomplish what I never could. And then she thinks to
mm.
herself, isn't that right, Joan?
Wow. All
And
right.
I was actually
Mm,
more emotional during that little tag at the end of this recap episode than I was in episode 28 because
mm,
she is kind of thinking of herself almost as Aaron's mother in relation to Joan serving as her father because the two of them, Esal and Joan, had a some sort of bond um,
mm,
when they were students together. So it's as
yeah.
though she's almost carrying on Joan's will by
Mm,
by looking out for Erin, overseeing her academic progress and giving her opportunities to excel in the same way that Joan did.
yeah.
She's like continuing his legacy, which I thought was very touching.
Yeah,
That comes right at the end of episode 30, and then we do get into the flashback proper starting in episode 31.
I see. I see. Um, well, I must say though, looking at the 18 years old Erin, so a new gen on character design again. Look just like looking at Anne of the Green Gables, getting older as well.
No way.
Yeah, so no, they look so mature now. I still prefer their younger self person,
I
but
think
yeah,
there is a much more drastic difference, at least in the Takahata adaptation of Green Gables, between young
right,
Anne and old Anne. I think the difference there is night and day.
okay,
In this one, she's a lot taller,
yeah,
but that's the major. Erin is a lot taller, but that's the major change. You know, she doesn't wear her
mm,
hair in any particularly different fashion. Her facial features are of course very simple because of the nature of her character design, and as a
mm,
result she doesn't, it's not as though she looks like a completely different person.
right,
uh, I don't know, I thought it was, I mean, I think the change is fitting, but
right.
it I when I watched Green Gables and I saw like 15-year-old Anne as compared to 11-year-old Anne, I was like, who the hell is this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, we see them growing up. Uh,
Well, we don't see Erin grow up for, how many years did we miss? 3, 4 with this
for
flashback
years. With the
or time skip.
all right. She spent 4 years at the academy, so I would say maybe 2 years.
Do you think we got 2 full years at the academy?
Yeah, 1 or 2 years,
Okay,
1 year maybe.
I see. Yeah, I mean, she
It
does look
it
different, but
I Actually, it must be more because I remember like she get into high school now before the time skip. She get into like another grade. Uh, and that is it must have been some time. So that now she get Leland get used to her as well. So I would say 2 years or maybe more than a year. I don't know.
okay.
But anyways, we got the new chapter of her life now,
Yeah,
and comes the new characters.
yeah.
Kiri.
So what I in all my notes on the this episode and the 3 afterwards,
Yeah,
I didn't write down the name of the new teacher.
right.
Oh, hold on. Yes, I
Kiri.
did. Kirikou.
Yeah, yeah.
I just I wrote it one time, and every other time after that, I just wrote teacher question mark because I didn't realize that I had already recorded his name. Yeah, but his name is
Right.
Kirikou, and he has a very dramatic backstory,
All right.
which we see like half a dozen times.
Yeah. I actually found that he certainly uh his appearance at the academy is a bad news. He bring nothing but like more drama into this new school. We the one who we cannot be trust. But by saying all that, I say that by exploring his backstory and how he is today, and even like his relation uh, to Erin at the moment, I think he's really make a good addition to the whole shows. What do you
Hmm.
think of his characters?
I mean, I'm not as positive as you towards him.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
he certainly serves a purpose because you can kind of tell there are moments where he observes Aaron's bond with Leland and is kind of amazed. So I
Mm.
think he's been introduced as a villain, but he will eventually be turned. He'll become a
I
good
hope
guy, so to speak.
I I hope he's not returned. I hope that he can continue doing his shady thing, and then uh maybe got covered by Erin and killed off by Leland. I'm all good with that. I
Okay.
I just say that he had a really uh special role in this series that like none other characters have been doing so far.
Well, he's definitely like a villain who has more prominence, I think, than the other villains we've seen so far. Like
Mm. Yep.
Damiya-sama, the uncle
Yep.
character,
Yep.
um, who I guess is the queen's nephew. I think that's how their relationship, like their family tree, plays out.
Yep.
Obviously, he's like a major villain. We hardly ever see him. So this guy Kirikou is more of a a consistent presence.
Mm.
But I just feel like this show's pretty ham-fisted with it. Like when the first time that
Right.
Lilan ever sees him, she immediately starts growling like,
Right.
I know you're evil." Like the trope
Yeah.
of dogs barking when the killer is
Yep. Yep. Yep.
walking
Yep.
down the street in a movie.
Yeah.
Um, then there's a particular shot in, I believe, is it episode? Yeah, it's episode 33, I think. Not to skip ahead, but there's
Mm.
a shot where Kirikou approaches Eren and Lilan out in the field, and there's a there's a cutaway to a shot of a tree with a bunch of crows in it at twilight, so the sky's kind of orange behind them. And as he's
Mm-hmm.
walking up to them, all the crows like go ah! And all fly away. Like it's a bad omen that this teacher is walking up to
Yeah.
them. Woo! It's just
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
great. But the reason I think that he might become a good guy, to put it in simple
Mm.
terms, is because of his character design and his internal monologue. Like
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
always thinking to himself, "This is just the way the world works. This is reality. A human and a
Yeah.
beast could never be friends with one another." And he's always got the um the his eyes are always closed. It looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a kind of a stereotypical villain trait. But then there are moments where he'll see Eren and Leland like flying through the sky or doing whatever, and his eyes will get really big, like really wide. Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah.
Humans and beasts can be friends.
Yeah.
Uh,
I Yeah, I'm not sure what his deal was. Like at first time when he saw, Erin flying off with Leland, his eye was wide open, and but then when Erin struggled to get him fly again, he was like, yeah, that's the way the world is.
yeah.
I don't want to send you or anything, but keep trying. And then he was as surprised again when Erin repeat the success. I was like, that's a like he saw it the first time, and he
Well,
still
I mean, the first time was kind of a fluke
of
because it was like a life or
right.
death situation. Leland and Eren were
Right.
both falling,
Yeah. Yeah.
because she
Yeah.
was on that little outcrop of the cliff there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Mm, yeah.
I mean, I just don't think the character writing is really there for him. I guess we should talk
Oh,
about his backstory though.
yeah. I actually think that is a really neat backstory that the show put on so far. It's a bit too much at times,
Well, we just see
but
it too many times, I think.
yeah. But I think we got a good grip of it, even though that they didn't really say that much. So apparently he got his younger sister, and they got sold off into this family, and then the sister got abused and get drunk,
I think she was
get
poisoned.
back get back to drink that poison, and then she died. So that he poisoned the family back, and that he developed the taste to become interested in poison.
Right.
So now he like the poison master now.
Yeah, it's like a
uh
supervillain backstory. The thing that
yeah.
was used to hurt you, you
Yeah.
adopt for yourself as a defense mechanism, and then use it to hurt others.
Right. Yeah. I think it's a solid enough story, and at one point, like during the first time that he saw Leland and Erin fly off, he actually see like the image of his their sister through there to Erin.
Right.
So
That's the biggest guarantee that he's going to become
yeah,
a good guy. He's going
yeah,
to renounce his evil ways because
yeah,
the person he loves most in the world he sees in the protagonist.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's a really wonderful moment as well. Not only because Erin and Leland can fly, but also because of his point of view as well.
Hmm. Yeah, it is an
So,
important moment. I hadn't really given it much weight because I don't like him
mm.
so much, but it is an important moment. Also important
Well,
to note, he is a Horon, a Holon, and he resents Wajaku because the family that he was sold to were Wajaku. So
all
as a
right.
refresher,
Did
Holon means
yeah,
is the term for the followers of the queen, whereas
right,
Wajaku is the name for the followers of the Grand Duke. So there is, I don't know if it's racism exactly. I don't think there's a racial difference, but there's like a class difference,
right.
or just maybe even just an
Hold on.
ideological difference.
Yeah, sorry. So hold on. So he actually a supporter for the Queen.
Well, I don't know that he necessarily supports the queen, but he's a Holon. He like
Yeah,
the people who live in the queen's quarter. That's
right.
the group that he belongs to, I suppose.
Yeah. All right, because we don't really know his motive, right? We know that he tried to poison one of the new
Beast Lord
the new
Oju.
Miss Lord Oju. Yep. So that what what's gonna happen if that Miss Lord die?
That's the thing. We're not entirely sure. We know, I
Right.
think, or we can infer that he is taking orders. Perhaps he's a member of the Saigamul,
Yep.
like the
Yep.
secret army of the Grand Duke or whatever.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. Yep.
but we don't know that for sure. There's some doubt cast as to whether he's actually working for them or whether he's like trying to make it look as though he's working for them to frame them to increase tensions between the Queen's Quarter and the
Yep.
Grand Duke's Quarter. Episode
Right.
34 gets into that a lot more. Iaru,
Yep.
the Seizan,
Yep.
says to Shunan, one of the Grand Duke's sons, he says,
Hmm.
I don't think that you're guilty necessarily. I think that somebody is trying to frame the Grand Duke's quarter.
Yep.
Um, but we'll get to that a little later.
Yep.
So he's
So.
taking orders from somebody. Like it could be the Grand Duke. It could be one of the Grand Duke's followers. It could be
Hmm.
Damiya-sama.
Yep.
We don't know.
Right. All we know is that the same poison were distributed to that Oju and to the Queen headquarters.
Right. So they poison Samia's attendant.
Right. I think they tried to poison Semina, but maybe that attendant just worked as like the new mama, so she have to taste the poison first,
Maybe. Yeah, she
and
could be
she
a poison tester. But I think
that's
what's more likely is that the assistant actually was the intended target, and it's just
mm,
the origin of the poison that was supposed to be that was the
right.
main goal because the poison is only located the herb from which that poison is made, Chichi Mimic, is located
Yep.
only in the Grand Duke's quarter. So that
Right.
would be a way to frame him.
Mm, yep. Yep.
I don't
Yep.
think that the person who poisoned her wanted to kill Samia and like end the queen's bloodline. I don't think that was
Yep.
their goal.
Just make some noise, right?
Yeah, increase tension basically.
Mm,
Like try to engineer the political outcome that they want.
yeah. I actually found the all the political thing going on in this part of episode much better than the one that we see in the previous batch, where the tension between the two brothers, the two sons of the Grand Duke.
Right.
Uh, I think this one it handled much better, and especially Lalu, who I just feel that he becoming more and more as like prominent players now.
I wouldn't. I mean, I more or less agree with everything you just said. I just wouldn't call him more prominent. I mean, he only appears once in the last 6 episodes, technically seven.
R- right.
But it does
Hmm.
seem as though the further we get towards the end game, the more important he will become
Right. Right.
because he's
Yeah.
kind of our look into the you know like the streets of the capital, the
Mm.
actual behind the scenes working of the Queen's Quarter.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
So
right.
we kind of jumped around a little bit there, but that was more or less episode 31. Um, episode 32 is the big lore dump, essentially.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
Oh my God. Like I really love. I always love like the show making its own law. Proven that like it has something to do with the main narrative. So this one fit that really well. It's kind of a bit dodgy the way that they met the people in the misty people uh that suddenly, but
Well,
like
who? Wait, who are you? Oh, you're talking about the guy, the one,
the guy. Yep, yep, yep.
Auto, I think is the precise term for the mist people.
Right,
Yeah,
yep.
that is. I mean, if he's supposed to be keeping a close eye on Erin and Lilan, why is he
Yep.
miles away in the middle of a snowy forest, in the perfect
Yep.
position to like hail them with
I
the reflected sun from a mirror?
Yep.
That doesn't make any sense.
No. Sorry, it
But
doesn't make
you
any
know,
sense to me either. Yep.
whatever. He's just the delivery
Yep.
vehicle basically for this this story, or I guess this piece of history.
Very interesting story. Not sure how it's gonna apply here, but yeah, I want to know what your thought about that first.
Well, I mean, I in terms of presentation, I didn't like everything about it, but it certainly fills in a lot of gaps. Like there
Mm,
have been moments in previous episodes where the narrator has come in, particularly at the start of an episode, and said,
mm,
many, generations ago, up on Ifan Noah, the golden-eyed queen, blah blah blah, did this and that, and you're like, what? What is all this? Now we have context for it. We understand
right,
who the queen was. She's part of a race of golden-eyed people who,
right.
from whom the current queen, Samia's grandmother, uh, is descended.
Yep.
And
Yep.
the reason that this country or this continent controls both beast lords and Tolda is because of that arose from the aftermath of this major like disaster that
Yep.
happened when they raised that army of beast lords and went down to like descended down the mountain in
Mm,
order to, I don't know, like quell the militarism of the Toda.
right.
It's it like it's certainly important information, and it kind of tied everything together because now you've got the king of Ophalon. That's a new
Yep.
term. He was the king of a country that used Toda to conquer its adversaries with the help of the Mist People. Importantly,
Yep.
though we don't see the Mist People in the flashback, that kind of confused me. If they're
Right.
the ones
Yep.
who raised Toda and controlled them, why didn't we see them at all? But anyway,
Right.
um,
Yep.
we kind of get there's the Toda people represented by the king on one end, and then there's the Beast Lord tribe, the Golden Eyed people. So we kind of see
Yep.
what goes wrong there and how the seeds of this conflict between the Queen's Quarter and the Grand Duke's Quarter, even now, like that tension has persisted, and I think its origin point is this like horrible day in their history where
Yep.
the Beast Lords went berserk.
It's not a bit law, but bit law only. I think it's the Todan who got berserk as well. So like they just maybe develop the taste for killing because like they get into killing each others.
I mean, I have a theory about
Yeah,
why the Beast Lords went berserk. I think it's because they ate the Toda, and the Toda's like bloodstream had some contaminant in it.
but the thing was, in the previous flashback, we see that the Beast Lord occasionally got killed the Toda, and they appear to be fine.
Right,
They
but
don't appear to be bloodthirsty.
I think that what I mean to say is I think the Toda that are under military control, there's
Right.
something in their bloodstream. They're fed some kind of drug or something.
Hmm.
Because like beast lords naturally prey on Toda
Yep.
so that, they can eat Toda no problem. Wild ones.
Right. Right.
But they
Hmm.
never, I don't think they had ever killed and
Yep.
eaten any Toda that were like domesticated by humans.
I
Because we
see.
see that they like the beast lord's eyes don't start glowing red until after they've made their initial pass and killed and eaten
Yep.
Toda.
Yep.
It doesn't
Yep.
happen until
Yep.
after. And I don't think the
Yep.
timing of that is a coincidence.
Right. That's a good observation. We will see more on that. But it also this backstory also signals many of the thing that will carry on until now, like what they call forbidden technique of
Yeah, the
like control. Yeah,
renditioner's technique.
yeah, of controlling the toda. So it's considered a band now.
Yeah.
Uh, a- and the fact that the beast law can the domesticated beast law cannot fly now is, I think, maybe part of the what they plan as well, so that this day doesn't won't appear again.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. That the use of the mute whistle and the benotrophic water and stuff
Yeah,
probably originated from the mist people in the aftermath of this disaster
yeah,
to prevent
just to
them
control.
from. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, mm, that's interesting.
And so that's why the Auto person who meets Aaron in the forest says to her, if do not fly, don't pursue flight with
Hmm.
Lilan, or I may have to kill you.
Yeah, and Leland. Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
so
so it's serious business, I guess. But in the end, of course, Aaron, special bond with Lilan. She's gonna revolutionize,
yeah,
the way that humans and beasts interact with one another, and all that. We
yeah.
know that is gonna happen for sure. I mean, unless there's gonna be some weird, out of left field tragic ending,
And
which I don't anticipate.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure that she will become a target now, not only from the teacher, but also from and the kingdom and the new kingdom, but also from her old miss people.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, speaking of things getting more political, Aaron is,
Yeah.
and this is something that Esal Sensei has warned her about in the past. If it becomes widely known that you are ignoring the Beast Lord imperatives and doing things your own way,
Mm,
and are seeing such unprecedented success, then
mm,
people are gonna you're gonna become a tool of war, of politics.
yeah,
You'll no longer be able to live your own life.
yeah. I think that's gonna happen in the future.
Yep. I think the story is about to get much more adult.
Right.
So it's fitting that Erin is now an adult herself.
All right. One thing that I find really weird though is that when they try to get Erin to fly again, why they include the two comedic duo so that he can spoil they can spoil the secret just basically right away, and
For plot
mm,
reasons.
well they did make some contribution, but oh my god,
I mean, yeah,
but
that is pretty stupid, but at the same time, he's living at this academy at Kazalm. He says, like, if you kick me out, I would have no other place to go. So he's living there over winter break, even as most everyone else has left. That's how they're able to do this training in secret, or more or less secret. So even if Nuku and Moku didn't tell him, I have a feeling he would have been able to observe it,
right,
especially since
yeah,
he's sneaking around and stuff.
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh boy, I should say that he is bad news, but yeah, as I said, I think he's a good addition to this show. It's another flavor that maybe a bitter flavor that the show needs at the moment.
Hmm. Yeah, speaking of bitter flavors, how about the poisoning? I mean, I guess that's episode uh, 31. We just talked about that. And then the poisoning
34.
of yeah, the poisoning of the human of Samia's assistant is episode 34.
Yep, yep,
So I
yep.
was trying to make a segue there, but it doesn't really work because
That's
episode
okay.
33, I think, which is the one where she learns to fly,
Yep.
like with the flight training. Interesting to note that the color the color scheme of her flight outfit is very similar to the color of the dress she wore as a young child in the earliest episodes.
Hmm.
It's like that very pale yellow with red accents.
Right. I didn't pick that up, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Now that you mentioned that, yes. Mm.
Um, oh yeah, there was something that I wanted to say about episode 32, like a linguistic note, something that I picked up on. So the
Yep.
title of the show is Kemono no Soja Erin. So and the definition of what soja is kind of ambiguous because the show has been localized different ways. Kemono
Right.
means beast. Obviously, we know what erin means, but I
Yep.
figured out what soja means in episode 32, or yes, in episode 32, listening to the mist person, the Auro, who
Right.
flags erin down. He says in relation to the renditioner skills, he says "solja no waza," which means
Yeah.
skill of renditioner. So
Right.
solja means renditioner. So in the title of the show, there's
Mm.
foreshadowing, I suppose, that Aaron is going to become, or I don't know. Aaron is a renditioner somehow. Now, what
That's
I
actually,
speculate that will mean is that she is going
yeah.
to revolutionize the what renditioners do. In
Mm.
the past where they've used their skills to control beast lords and Toda, she will do away with that and like kind of usher in a new era of like understanding between humans and beasts. And in that
Yep.
way, she will become a renditioner herself, but just change
That's a,
she'll change
yeah.
everything.
That's a really good pickup because I think the localized translation had always been a bit inconsistent about that as well.
Yeah,
So the title is Edwin the Beast Player, which
right.
is not a player at all. And in the episode, I think they translate it as Beastarians.
Right. And that was something when I first heard Solja, I was like, okay, that's in the title. What does that mean? So I looked into it a little bit.
Hmm.
Solja can't mean Beastanarian because Beastanarian is Kemono Ijutsushi, which we also
Right,
hear the Auro, the mist person, say.
right,
Kemono meaning beast, Jutsu meaning skill. Kemono Ijutsushi is Beastanarian. But so that's
right.
distinct from renditioner, different concept.
Wow.
So
Very interesting.
I wanted to
Yeah,
mention that because I've always been slightly confused about what the meaning of the title is.
yeah. Player.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get that, like the idea of I don't know, the idea of playing. So, like if you think about someone saying, "Oh, they played me," like
Yeah,
they manipulated me, they controlled me, they took me for a fool.
right.
That sort of meaning of play.
Yeah,
Sometimes you hear people say you played yourself, like
yeah.
you I don't know. I think the meaning is somewhat similar to that.
Mm. I actually think a beast player is a really bad translation because play also mean that uh, there may be some competition or there may be some like some fun activity in that,
Yeah,
and
it's not
it's
a
not
yeah.
what is about. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Any
agree. I
guys,
agree.
good
It's
pickup.
not good. It's the word play has, you know, it's a pretty broad term.
Right.
Not so it's not clear what the beast player means.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that took up like 5 minutes of talking, but that was
Yeah.
something
No, no,
uh,
no. That
that,
that's
that
really
I
good
learned.
pickup. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Episode.
now I mean, you can hear it. Like if you ever are listening to the characters and at the bottom,
Mm,
at the subtitles, if you see the word Beastinarian or renditioner, you'll hear either Kemonoi Jutsushi or Soulja.
yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right, that's my rant is over.
All right. Yeah. So we already mentioned about episode 34, the whole scheme in regard to poisoning, and Erin meet Lailu again, and Lailu being a really big help. I actually kind of impressed some of these technique that he used here in the episodes, like the way that he turned up the lamp and
Yep.
then just try to shoot the other person like in the other angles.
Doesn't he
That's
do
kind of
something
really
like
cool.
he takes off his cloak and props it up on a different part of the
Yep,
bridge?
yep. That's what he did.
Yeah,
And then
that was pretty cool. The show seems
yeah,
to take their role, the Saison, like very seriously.
right, yeah, yeah. I kind of like that, and I kind of like it, the way that I think he's the one who basically up to figure out what the scheme is. He actually kind of realizing the guy the new teacher Kirikou, and maybe he was the one who shoot the arrow that got him injured. We don't know about that, right? But
Yeah,
there
we
might be
don't.
this.
The
Yeah,
the reason there's so much ambiguity is because he delivers that line after
yeah,
Samia's attendant has been poisoned. He's like, I don't think that the Grand Duke's quarter is guilty. I think someone's trying to frame them.
yeah,
But there is, the show does flash back to that moment where he gets shot doing that like diving saving maneuver in front of the queen. And he, we also see that image of the cracked helmet with the arrow in it because he
mhm,
shoots the assassin, the sniper. Um, it's possible that that teacher is the sniper.
yeah,
We don't
yeah.
we don't know
Right.
because
It's
he
gonna be very
actually
interesting.
wait, is he the sniper? Because we know that someone has seen a person in a very similar mask emerging from the like basement where they have a meeting with the Toda egg thieves.
Yeah,
Do you remember
that's
this?
correct. That's but the thing is like everyone in the show wearing the mask.
Yeah, I think that's
That
the mask that the Saigamul wear, like the
yeah,
secret agents of the Grand Duke.
yeah. So it's not particular one person, but
Yeah,
it just to say that he's the one who in that group. I think it's established that because he blocking everyone, like he blocking the people who try to find the tuna egg for a no reason. We don't know that at the
right.
moment. But when someone going they see that he wearing that mask going up to from the basement.
Yeah, I don't think we know for sure that that's the teacher, but it could be. Is
Yeah,
that does that sound right?
yeah, yeah. That's all right.
Okay. Um, yeah, and Iaru thinks to himself, I think I've seen that guy before. So
Right.
eventually we will learn, he'll have like he'll have a brain blast, he'll remember and then we'll learn, oh, so that's what's going on.
All right. Yep. Do you have any other notes for every episode that we cover so far?
Uh
Not episode 34 in particular.
episode I mean episode 34 was my favorite for sure.
Right.
It was intriguing. It was action packed. It was, it covered a lot of ground, so it was very plot focused. It brought back Iaru, who's a very, will probably become a more important character as time goes on. It's just really, really good episode in general. One thing I wanted to note about it in particular is the speed with which he encounters the Saigamur at the apothecary, because that's where Eren is
Mm.
headed with Nuku and Moku in order to buy
Yep.
the antidote to cure the Beast Lord.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And there's a Saigamur there who's trying to buy up all the antidotes, so the Beast Lord will can't be cured and will die. When Iaru finds him, he like stumbles upon him. They like their confrontation escalates so quickly, and then
Mm.
the Saigamul flees into the forest just as quickly, and I was
Yeah.
very impressed by that because so many anime, like there'll a good guy and a bad guy, let's say, will encounter one another, and then there'll be like some internal narration from each of them about like, oh, that's that guy with that power level who that's really high from he's the member of that evil organization rank A/2,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
they'll
Yep.
like that it just goes on and on. In this show
Yep.
it was like it was happening in real time.
Right.
uh,
Yeah.
that was just so
Which is
refreshing to me.
yeah. Which is the way it should be.
Yes.
In if it happened in real life.
That's why
So
I like Avatar: The Last Airbender so much,
yeah, they
because
just go
all of
straight to
its
music.
combat is extremely like the posing of it and the timing of it is very pays like a lot of attention to how it might happen,
Yeah.
in a real world setting.
Cool.
No anime I think has ever come close to that.
Yeah.
At least not that well, I don't know. I probably shouldn't make
Yeah.
that statement because there probably is one, and maybe there's even one that I've seen that I'm forgetting about. But
Um, Cowboy People.
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. But Cowboy Bebop is like not strictly an action anime. I'm thinking like
Yeah. Mm.
shonen type anime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop in general has very good like choreography and timing, and a large part of that has to do with the fact that it's set to music, so
Yeah.
much music in so many different styles that you know it's always
Yeah.
taking that into account.
All right. Yeah. I for me, episode 32 and 34 are pretty excellent, and all the other episodes are also really on a good track. So I'm happy with this set of Erin.
Yeah,
Looking forward to see more.
I pretty much agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think every episode was great, but definitely a step up, which is important. Now that this
Yeah.
time skip has happened, you don't want to start off a time skip on a bad note.
That's true. That's true. We might disagree on this new teacher, but we will see whether he's relevant in the future.
He'll definitely be relevant. That's
Yeah,
that's a
Whe-
guarantee.
whether whether we enjoy him in the future.
Yeah. So we'll learn more about that probably next year. Early 2026 is when you'll hear from us again about Aaron the Beast Renditioner.
Yeah. All right.
So it'll be
Yeah.
a little while, but we will watch it to the end without fail.
Yeah. Yeah. We will. All right. Bye for now, guys.
See you next time.
See ya.